Hello, I'm FJX Toycat, and do you recognize this Minecraft song? You might not, because they actually removed it from the game a while ago, and it's one of those features that I think would be much better in a modern day Minecraft update. In fact, when you look at the cultural following that the Farlands has, and when you look at the amount of fun that could have been had with the customized world options, it makes you realize that many of Minecraft's best features have actually been removed, and although they could do with some tune-ups to be added back, I think many of Minecraft's greatest ideas for the future could come from this great little indie game called Minecraft itself, and allow me to convince you of my 10 favorite features we absolutely need to see back in the game in a future Minecraft update. But before we get started, I want to remind you that greater than 99% of house fires happen to people who aren't subscribed to the channel. Do with that information what you will, just like us starting the 10 with the first and most important, adjustable cloud height. This was a feature that existed in Minecraft in dev, but was removed in inf dev, i.e. when they started making the worlds infinite for Minecraft, and this is a really interesting change that of course back then didn't have much purpose. You weren't ever going to build up to cloud height, and so what was the point of raising it? But now we don't have a world that's 128 blocks tall, or even a world that's 256, but as of Minecraft 1.18, there is going to be 320 blocks of height, and that is this far above the clouds, in case you're curious. It's so ludicrously high that it just yells out that we need a change, and given that most people turn off clouds because they're too low already, would it make sense that they raise the existing height limit of clouds, or even better, they gave us options to maybe have 3 or 4 different, cloud limit heights. We could have the current one, we could have one about 256 blocks up, or we could have one that is so far above 320 that they actually function as clouds, not weird white things that mess with how your builds look. I think that is a great idea to keep the atmosphere of clouds while still giving people customization, just like I think that adding calm4.ogg back to the game would be a great idea. So I can try my best to explain this music track to you, and I can tell you that it was made by Notch for Alpha 1.1.1, but I think a much better idea would be to play you a little subsection and then to skip right ahead to the most confusing part of the song when this happens. So sure, I mean the Mojang specifications being said at super slow pace and for some reason making music could be removed. However, 1.18, it's coming out. It's a cave update, right? We've got these huge new environments to explore, and do you think that Sweden or Calm or any of these traditional Minecraft tracks is the best way to explore them? No, I don't. And just like how when they updated the Nether, they added Pigstep, I think calm4.ogg would go perfect with the new caves, as I'll prove in this little demonstration right here, because this is a new cave being explored with Calm 4. Do, 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 do. Doesn't it go so well? Okay, I think so at the very least. I think the one problem to adding this back is probably the fact it was created by Notch himself, and obviously Notch and Minecraft, on the corporate end of things, they're very clear to, make sure that those two things stay separate. But maybe we could have something along the lines of Calm 4, because I think it's so different to the rest of the Minecraft tracks, just like how Pigstep is refreshingly different, that we could do with it. And given that, C418 seems to be going on a little bit of break from making music, it could be a fun way for us to get a new cave update song and a new cave update disc even, without having to go through the current whatnots. And speaking of current whatnots, have you ever questioned what an isometric screenshot is? Because if you haven't, you're missing out. One of the greatest weird features in original Minecraft, just like the current screenshot button that exists, was the idea of an isometric screenshot. So this is the third feature I'd like to see back from the olden days of Minecraft, because you used to be able to take a screenshot of your entire world, and it wouldn't be from your perspective, it would be from this, again, isometric perspective, where you could see the entire thing, even with all of the mobs in their current position in the world, and all of the blocks, the direction of the sun, and all of those beautiful things. It would basically capture the world from this third-person perspective, and I think it's a great way to show your progress. I think right now it's really hard to show your progress in a Minecraft world. I mean, you can take a bunch of screenshots, or you can maybe record a video, but based on the fact that so many people want me to show their worlds off on YouTube and actually walk people through all the intricacies of it, that tells me that there's this huge demand of people who have things they think are great that they'd love to just show someone, but they find it hard to do. What if we could have isometric screenshots? Obviously, back in the day, worlds were finite. They were only 512 by 512 with a 64 block height limit, and so yeah, back then it would have been a lot easier to do. But what if we could set our own size for these screenshots? That would be great. What if we could show off things that we spent months or years working on without having to go through the effort of taking a bunch of screenshots and trying to put them together in a logical way or trying to make a video? What if it could be a single button that could share the progress of the absolute time that goes into this? Speaking of time, by the way, I think we should talk about the ice desert, because the ice desert is something that I remember from my first days in Minecraft on the Xbox 360. It was a very, very strange biome where, of course, you could have a sand-based biome, but it could still have snow on top of it. It was like a snowy tundra, but I guess it would be, sandy, and it would have frozen lakes instead. It did not have any flowers or trees, and no passive mobs such as animals would spawn on the surface. This sounds like a really weird biome, and I think that right now having it be a rare thing would be great, because you might think, oh, that's so unrealistic. And although we could argue about whether certain Minecraft biomes are realistic, hint hint, the mushroom biome or the nether or the end, but although we could argue about those things, I would actually say that did you know the world's largest desert is Antarctica? Did you know that actually having a rare biome is a way to make Minecraft more interesting? And if we're going to have these new ideas for rare biomes, why don't we just reach into the Minecraft archives and look at so many of the ones from pre 1.8? I think the ice desert is definitely the most interesting one. I think the gravel beach is definitely the least interesting one. But I think there are lots of great ideas from the past, just like the Farlands. The Farlands actually went away at a similar time to the ice desert, because the Farlands were removed for the first full release of Minecraft because they were never actually a feature, they were a bug. So I guess I'm actually asking to bring back an old bug, and that is because the Farlands are such an iconic part of the Minecraft community. I mean, it almost is, when someone mentions the Farlands, it is synonymous with Minecraft itself, because when you look at this terrain, you can't tell me that you look at that and you think, wow, that is stunning. It might be stunning because it's a bug, but it's still something that's so interesting, and it's a bug that never affects any legitimate survival player, because it's found at 12,880,821 blocks out, and because it's found so far away from the spawn, you would never realistically get there in a solo survival. Some people have actively tried to walk there, some have been successful, and it's been interesting to see that actually happen. However, 99.99999% of Minecraft players never saw these things in actuality, so it makes me think, wow, why don't we make it so that it's a real feature, it's something intentional that could exist in very short spaces, and it could be like that glitch in the Minecraft world. In the same way that mushroom biomes are kind of meant to be rare, but they're common enough, you'll find them in a Minecraft world at some point. What if you could find, maybe 100,000 blocks out in certain Minecraft worlds, the Farlands? What if there were weird ways you could find these places, and what if there was some way to even know the direction you were going? I don't know, I feel like Minecraft needs more exploration, and having the Farlands is definitely motivation by itself. By the way, I need to mention, the Farlands actually do exist on Bedrock Edition, on certain platforms only. Why is that the case? Honestly, it reminds you of why Bedrock is not one game, but if you play on the phone version of Minecraft, you will find the Farlands, and you won't find it on certain consoles or Windows 10 versions, because you know what, things are confusing, and if we're talking about things being confusing anyway, the zombie pigman, zombie piglin confusion is still something that mixes people up. In fact, I called this one the zombie pigman and this one the zombie piglin. This is actually a zombified piglin, because it's a piglin that is zombified. Wow, I can't believe you call it a zombie. It's zombified, you idiot. So I think that the switch from zombie pigman to zombie piglin, it made enough sense, right? The zombie pigman was just a holdover from the old days when the pigman was a real thing, because they wanted to have a villager type skin that wasn't going to look human. They eventually decided on humans instead of pigmen. Imagine if we had Pigman villages, by the way. You're not? Okay. Let's not go too far on a tangent, but, you know, it would be cool to have pig-run villages, right? But, you know, there's the Pigman, the zombified piglin, and what if instead of just switching all the pigmen to piglins, what if we could still have some zombified pigmen? What if we could still have those zombie pigman that people still recognize and are still one of the more iconic mobs of Minecraft? What if we could still have them sometimes appear in different parts of the world? I think that would be cool, and I think you think that would be cool, unless you haven't been playing Minecraft before 2020, and if that's the case, you definitely won't recognize this next feature, because the using a hoe on grass blocks has a chance of dropping wheat seeds, right? That's a feature that exists right now. I lied to you. It used to only exist on the former Pocket Edition of Minecraft, and it's, you know, I'm assuming a feature before they made the, you know, the seeds drop from wheatgrass. However, I love this as a concept. I love the idea of, you know, being able to hoe the ground and getting some small rewards, because not only is it a great way for survival island seeds with no grass to get some, you know, seeds when you're really unlucky, not only is it a way for you to get some extra seeds if you've got a hoe and you're just waiting for your crops to grow anyway, but also, just like Stardew Valley, we could have that system where there's a small chance of getting some slightly rarer items. We don't have to say diamond or netherite or anything insane like that, but what if there's a small chance that you could find some berries, or some, you know, perhaps you could find some hanging roots, or you could find some moss carpet, or, you know, any of these different types of things. It would be great as a way to find new items in Minecraft, just very rarely. And so yeah, using a hoe on grass blocks should give you some wheat seeds like it used to back in the day. The next thing I'm going to suggest is something you need to keep secret, so keep your voice down as you hear this one, turn your volume down just a little bit, because super secret settings were a button added in 1.7.2 Java and removed in 1.9, which applied shaders and various effects and color filters to the game, including the point of view for certain mobs like the Enderman, spiders, and creepers. The same POVs that you get if you go into spectator mode and you inhabit one of those mobs. And I think this was such a fun idea, and although it probably wasn't useful to most people, it was interesting, right? I think this is something that we lose in modern day Minecraft. When they put a feature in a snapshot, people expect that feature to stay exactly that way forever. Take, for example, Grimstone, or, you know, Deep Slate as it's now known. Some people still call it Grimstone because they knew it as Grimstone and they want it to go back to that name, even though that was basically an in-development title. And the same thing is true for so much across Minecraft's history. And so wouldn't it be great if we could just have, you know, little play around features that are quirky and fun could be enabled in super secret settings? What if it's not just fun, it's also interesting little tryouts? Because some of my favorite features are the things they did on a whim. I loved the April the 1st update with all of the dimensions, and I think there are so many other great ideas that we could see in the game via super secret settings. Okay, we're getting close to the end now, so we need to suggest perhaps the most important part of the video, because I love old villages in Minecraft. I think that the new villages as of 1.14 look like a person actually just, you know, designed them. They don't necessarily look like they're natural parts of the world as much as they look like pretty decent Minecraft builds. However, I think that it's one of the very few features that I'm like somewhat nostalgic for, and I think, this is sad. If you haven't played Minecraft since, you know, 1.14 came out, you might miss the old villages if you're like me and you're strange. So what if we tied into the archaeology feature that is coming out soon, and we made it so you could find these old style villages? They could be a 1 in 100 chance or a 1 in 50. You know, it could be a very rare event that you could find an old village instead of a new one, and it could feature some slightly knocked down village walls. It could feature, you know, like kind of some old things that you could excavate, and it would be a really great way to, you know, like have this Minecraft history be built into the game. Because right now, every Minecraft update is just a fully different game. There's no continuity from one update to the next, which is confusing if you have a Minecraft world, which is going to cross all of those. What if these old Minecraft villages actually were still in Minecraft now, just with a different function? What if the new villages were where things were at now, and the old villages were something else entirely? Just like how zombie pigmen could still spawn in a world of zombie piglins, we could still have old villages in a world of new ones, and they could even spawn in a different biome because Minecraft's world has changed around it. They could spawn underground if you wanted, or at least slightly underground, as if the you know, it's been buried like you see with modern day stuff. I think it'd be crazy. I think it'd be cool, but it's not as great as the last feature I need to suggest. What is the 10th and final feature I think that Minecraft should take inspiration from itself with? I think it's an obvious one. I think this is almost a failure of, like modern Minecraft generation, because customized worlds were one of my favorite features. Admittedly, I mostly played around with custom superflats, which are a feature that is also in the same missing category, but customized worlds were added in Minecraft 1.8 and removed in 1.13 because they rewrote the world generation engine, because they rewrote it from scratch, and it meant that the old code just didn't work with it. However, 1.14 came out and they didn't fix it and bring back customized worlds. 1.15 came out and they hadn't brought it back, and in 1.16 they brought something out called custom worlds, but it's something entirely different. It doesn't have the same number of sliders and custom options and, allowing you to take control of your Minecraft world itself, and I think this is something that is seriously sad. I think Minecraft Bedrock has never had any custom world generation besides flat and old, and I think that Minecraft Java has gone backwards over the last few years, and that's a shame. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about these things. I don't think that things that existed in the past are necessarily better than things that exist in the present. Sometimes people are too stuck and rigid into tradition. They don't realize that things are progressing around them and the world is generally getting better. That is a trend we don't always realize because sometimes we have bad days, but the worldwide trend is that every single year is generally better than the last. Every single decade is a huge stretch of improvement over the last one, and the same is true for Minecraft. You might not like a single Minecraft update or a single Minecraft feature being removed. However, there are, I do think that the game is generally getting better over time. However, it doesn't mean that there are some things that didn't get worse. There aren't some things that did get a little bit worse in there, and if that's the case, maybe it would be great to take those things that got worse and to make them better so that whatever the next update is, or the next update, or the 2029 update, whatever that update may be, could be the ultimate definitive version of Minecraft. That's my dream personally. I don't know if it's your dream, but I hope you all enjoyed this dream style video, because you know what? You imagine this all. There's no YouTuber called IBX Toycat. You're not subscribed to him, and that's why you're dying in a house fire right now. I think that's actually too serious an outro. Let me try that again. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, because I'll see y'all in the next one. Remember kindly to like, favorite, and subscribe, because I'll see y'all in the next one. What is this video become? Please don't ignore everything I said because of this terrible outro. Okay, bye now.